Andy Fogarty from the AtHomeWelder.com, and today we're going to answer another question from our At Home Welder community members about metal benders. Now today's question comes from Jared, and it's a great question about how to use a metal bender to bend cap rail. And Jared asks, "Hi Andy, I'm Jared. Thanks for all you're doing here at the At Home Welder. It's great. I have a question about using a metal bender. Now I just bought this metal bender and I'm embarrassed to admit that I'm a little confused as to how to use it. It has a lot of dies and the instructions aren't really that great. It shows nothing for how to bend cap rail. All I really need to know right now is how to get that S-curve at the end of a cap rail that you usually see on houses. Thanks so much, Jared." Okay, so this is a great question. Now the S-curve that Jared is talking about is this little S-curve here that you always see at the bottom of a cap rail. This is, you see this, sometimes you see these have been made separately and they've been welded on, but a lot of times you see it's actually all one piece for the down rail, which is... Okay, so here's our metal bender, and you can see this is like what Jared was talking about. It comes with a whole bunch of different size dies, and all of these have a purpose depending on what you're trying to do, but the instructions that come with these things, they leave a lot of information out that you just kind of have to figure it out, and they really say nothing at all about you using cap rail. So I'm going to show you right now exactly which dies to use and how we're going to do this. Okay, so the first step is choosing our dies. Now in this center die here, all I have is the smallest die. So it's actually the first die, the very smallest, the skinniest die. Let's see if I can put this out here. And you can see this is actually the skinniest die. And I put that in there. I'm just going to put the pin. And sometimes this is kind of a pain in the butt to line up on this first one. Get those holes in there right. There we go. Now for this die, this is actually the largest die. So this is the largest die that it comes with, and I actually pull this back to the third hole. So I count back 1, 2, 3, slip this in here, drop that pin in, like I said. Sometimes it's hard to line those up. Make sure that's in there. Boom, perfect. Now this back piece here is actually a little square. It's a little square die. We just set this back there. I usually have this in the third one as well. Sometimes, like I said, it's hard to line up there. There we go. So I'm in the third pin back. And that's it. That's it. All we have to do for our dies. Now the first thing you want to do before you actually do any bending is you want to take your grinder to the end of this. And the reason I'm taking a grinder to the end of this first is because once you have your bend on there, it's kind of hard to get in there. And this is to take off any sharp edges, because remember, this is the first piece of the railing that's going to be out there for people to grab. So you want that to be smooth. Then we slide this in. I like to put a little tension on the bar there just to hold the metal in place. And make sure this is flat right here. This has a tendency to bend down a little bit back here because there's nothing holding the metal up. So as you have a longer piece of cap rail, which I have a pretty short piece here just for the demonstration, but if you have a longer piece, you might need to use something further down the back to prop it up a little bit. But usually I just put this in and add a little tension, pull on the bar, and that holds it in place. Now I like to come out about 1 3/4, 2 inches out from this die to the end of the cap rail. So I just put that up there, anywhere that's pretty close is fine. And then all you gotta do is just bend. So you pull the lever, get it going. It's a little difficult sometimes. So now all we've done is we've put our cap rail in, and this time we've just flipped it around. So the bend that you have should be facing out, and the inside of the rail cap rail should be facing you. And all we do here is just set the die right inside of the bend. So once you actually sit this in here and you pull the lever, get a little tension going on there, make sure you have everything nice and level. It fits in there pretty well, so that just fits in there snug. So now all you gotta do is just pull your level and get that last bend. And you wanna just kind of eye this, but I generally try to have this come a little bit more than 90 degrees. So that way you have a nice bend end. And you'll see what I mean as we go. And we'll just pull this out. And there you have it. That's your bend. That's your little S-curve. Jared, I hope that helps answer your question so you can use your metal bender to start building some cool rails and get some nice cap rails. Now, if you like this information and you want to get more great tips and tricks like this, come on over to theathomewelder.com, sign up for MIG Welding 101. It's going to give you the 5 cornerstone MIG welding techniques to get you started. Plus, you'll be on our list, so we're going to send you weekly tips and tricks on how to save money, weld better and faster, and get more jobs doing this cool stuff that we love to do. So, I'm Andy Fogarty from theathomewelder.com, and I'll see you again next time.